Yielding isometric training, overcoming. Which one is better? Most people know about yielding because yielding is wall sits, planks, 6 inches, and really no one has ever heard of overcoming, usually is what I found. So which one is even better? Probably the one that you've heard of before, which is yielding, right? It's really hard to say what's better because when it comes to isometric training, it really just depends on your goals. And I know I hate to say that it depends answer, but it really does, because overcoming and yielding can be effective methods for improving muscle endurance. They both do that. All right, overcoming isometric training involves holding a muscle contraction against a load that can't be moved. This type of training is always useful for developing maximal strength and muscle power. So that's why Bruce Lee was such a fan of it, because he wanted to develop his power. He didn't really care much about size, but he wanted that power, which is why you see him on the Isochain a lot. Yielding isometric training involves holding a muscle contraction while the load is gradually increased until the muscle can no longer hold said contraction. So these are your wall sits, these are your planks, all right? This type of training can be useful for developing muscle endurance and improving the muscle's ability to maintain tension over time, okay? Ultimately though, the best approach is, it depends, because it depends on your specific goals. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to increase your strength? Are you trying to increase your endurance? Here's the tricky part about it, because that being said, it's important to know that both of these types of isometric training can be effective for improving strength and muscle endurance, depending on how they're implemented in your training program. It also is worth noting that both types of isometric training can be challenging and may require a significant amount of effort to see any progress. Okay, so here's an example of that. So let's say, because we can improve strength and endurance with it, let's say we wanted to increase strength with yielding, right? We just covered that strength is more of the overcoming style and endurance is more of the yielding style. Well, what if we wanted to do strength with yielding? Well, let's say we did a wall sit. How will we increase our strength? We will put a lot more weight. We're increasing the load, okay? So we put a 45-pound plate on your lap and continue to do the wall sit. Not enough, add another 45 or whatever weight it is. The point is to be progressive overloading. Okay, if we wanted to do endurance with overcoming isometric training, what we would do, it is a lot easier on the Dragon or Isochain, by the way, but what we would do is we would set the load, okay, and then we would set the time for 20 to 45 seconds, or if you're a real masochist, cue the PTSD for the Iron Man video. Okay, we can set it to 1 to 2 minutes and 20% of our maximum and try and hold that. That sucks. You will feel it. You will have increased your muscular endurance that way. Does that make sense? Depending on what we're trying to do, it might be helpful to just incorporate both of them, both the yielding and the overcoming, into your program. But again, it depends on your specific goals and the demands of your sport or activity. So for example, let's say you're a runner and you're looking to improve your muscle endurance. Makes sense. You might want to focus more on yielding isometric exercises, like holding a standing calf raise for time until your calves no longer can hold that contraction and you fall down to the ground, well, back on your heel. Or the wall sit. Everybody knows the wall sit. So we're trying to increase our muscular endurance. We're going to hold the wall sit for time. If you're a real masochist, you can go a little bit below parallel, okay? While a weightlifter might be looking to increase maximal strength, they might want to focus more on overcoming isometric exercise, which is what I like to do. I immediately saw the benefit of what overcoming ISO would do to my lifting, which it has. Makes sense. Again, though, it's important to consult a professional if you really wanted to know the absolute answer. My personal recommendation, if you are doing any type of endurance sport, okay, should probably focus on yielding, or if you have a measurable isometric device like the Isochain, or in some cases the bull worker, right? I'm not gonna sleep on the bull worker. I have my bull worker in the other room, okay? You want to make sure that you are holding it at a specific load for time, okay? The key to endurance with isometrics is it has to be measurable, okay? So if we're trying to have any type of progressive overload, you want it to be measurable. If you are a powerlifter or a bodybuilder and you are stuck on a lift, I would recommend, personally, I would recommend overcoming isometric training. Now, it depends on what your program looks like. That's why I can't tell you, oh, we'll just do 1x6. Oh, we'll just do 3x6. Oh, we'll just do 6x6. That's the one size fit all if you're a powerlifter or weightlifter. That's incorrect. I'm not going to give out false information. It just depends on what your split looks like. Right now, for me, as of the time of this recording, I have about a 10 to 12 rep range for my workouts in the weight room. So I prefer to do 1x6, which has been working for me. I've been doing it daily. Doesn't get in the way. It's not interfering with any of my weightlifting. Works just fine. It doesn't work in reverse either, where my weightlifting is messing with my 1x6. 6x6, I probably would not do. Okay. Let's flip the script real quick. Let's say if I was training for a marathon, it is January 6th as of this recording. My marathon date was March 1st. With my cardio training, I would probably end up doing 3 sets of 1 to 2 minute contractions for that muscle group that I'm really trying to increase the endurance of, which would more than likely, because of just marathons, more than likely be the lower body, okay? But yes, what are your thoughts? Have you used isometric training and found that you prefer yielding or overcoming? What is it that you do? What is it that you're training for? If you're training for something specific, drop down in the comment section below what isometric modality you ended up using that has made a difference for you. All right, go ahead and drop that down below. Thanks for watching. If you found any value in this video, be sure to drop a like, go ahead and comment. And if you're not yet part of the squad, hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad with us. See you next video. Peace.